to introduce Bob Bishop.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm pleased you could find a seat and you're comfortable. It's the main thing. Yes, TT Group has been around since '92. We're about 60 in number, and our specialty is building communication solutions. Whilst we sell product, we believe it's much more important to understand your business before we start thinking about product. We'll bring the best products that are available to the table, but they'll only be important if they suit your business. So we do a lot of listening, a lot of research before we start to think about what you need from a product point of view. And today is an overview of a communication solution. You won't need all of it, you might need a little bit of it. You don't have to be big to use it. Our smallest customer is got one extension. And he has then the ability to move that 1800 number off to various mobiles, and I'll show you how that works in a moment. But essentially, if you're looking at a communication solution, essentially a new telephone system, and you're talking to a company that says, how many telephones do you need? How many change lines do you need? And do you need call accounting? And then they give you a brochure, and then they give you a price. You're talking to the wrong company. In this day and age, communications is multifaceted, and therefore you need to really have a look at how the best practice techniques that are available today suit your business, and importantly, improve the relationship you've got with your customer. How can we make your customer more satisfied in dealing with your business? That's our role. It's our ambition to improve the customer satisfaction levels. So let's move quickly through some slides here today. Freedom architecture is a slogan, but it's all about freedom. It's mobility. It's being able to address communications requirements. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you're overseas, whether you're in the backyard at home or the flat at Noosa, or at work at your desk or in the car. It's all about freedom and being able to be connected. The MyTel Communications Director is how we do it. That's the essential engine room of a communication solution. And we unify our communications by integration into other worlds, such as the Microsoft world. We'll talk more about that later on. So let's have a quick look. MyTel was founded by Sir Terry Matthews in Canada in 1972. Now, Sir Terry Matthews is a very important stakeholder in the communications industry. He's made some very significant changes. When he went from Decadic to VF dialing, tone dialing, that was Terry's innovation. And just remember that name, Terry Matthews, it might be important to you later on. Completely focused on delivering IP PBXs, small business enterprise solutions. 2,500 staff worldwide and operating in 90 countries. So you might not have heard of MyTel, but it's certainly one of the world's biggest players, and it's one of the largest market shareholders in terms of growth terms in Australia today. Opened the Australian offices in 2002 and have 25,000 customers Australia-wide, 80 resellers in our channel, and 350 engineers that are specialists in this communications industry. We operate locally and globally and have strong relationships with organisations such as Telstra, Telstra Business, Telstra Enterprise and Government, HP ProCurve, Oracle to the desktop, Microsoft integration, very important, you can't exclude that. VMware, and that's the virtualization world that we'll talk more of, but VM, if you haven't heard about it, is a technology that IT people are very, very interested in these days. It gets you away from lots of boxes and lots of tin into a virtual server world where we have virtual servers all stacked up on one piece of hardware. IBM relationships there are very important, and also for our mobility partner is BlackBerry. We don't certainly rule out any of the Apple products, and probably everyone's got an Apple iPhone, that's cool. We work with Apple as well, as we do with Nokia and all the others, and I'll show more about that in a moment. Today I'd just like to introduce Colin McDougall down the back in the white shirt. Cole's the Australian sales manager of MyTel, and I'm delighted to announce that TT Group have opened an office in Townsville this week, and today's the launch Well, this expo is the launch of our office, and Tarquin Watson is, put your hand up there now, is your local man. He's on the deck and ready to take inquiries and help out any way he can. So Mitel is headquartered in Sydney, and it has a full capability there to provide support remotely to all of the areas. Now, just looking at the architecture of Freedom, it encompasses a number of different aspects. And first of all, ERP integration. We work in the business solutions area. We integrate our telephony, so you've got a full capability there. Email integration, and we'll show you how it works later on. CRM, that's your database, and your database is important to you. It needs to be kept fresh, vibrant, up to date and relevant. And Mitel then lock into your database to make you much more flexible in your desktop operation, on the road through your BlackBerry, whether you use an iPad, and I'll show you something there in a moment that'll blow you away. They're the sort of things that are important in terms of integration. As well as web integration, we have a web capability, so you have web conferencing amongst many players. They can all dial into a central web portal and voice and video, either whether it's a little webcam or whether it's a camera in your laptop or whether it's a camera in your iPhone 2, you're able to have a video conference wherever you are, whether there's broadband or your SIM card works, wireless or SIM card. Mobility Gateway enables your mobile telephone, it doesn't matter what brand it is, to be an extension of your phone system. That's a breakthrough. We don't need any other devices now. Your mobile telephone becomes your extension of the Office PABX. So whether you're at your desk or whether you're on the run, you can take calls as if you're in the office. So that's good for your customers, and it's good for you to be accessible if you want to be, and if you don't want to be, we then have ways around protecting you as well. By taking calls, sending to other parties with information as to where the calls come from, so they can answer accordingly, or whether it's to a voicemail service or to an SMS or paging or email. So there's plenty of ways to arrange an interface with you and your customer and other workers in your business. And video to the desktop enables us to provide full high-definition video conferencing. We partner with Lifesize, and that is one of owned by Logitech. We've got a Logitech webcam there and a camera over there that's taking our photos today. Logitech is one of the world's biggest players in video conferencing. They have a range of video conference terminals. They will become extensions of the Mitel telephone system, IP extensions, delivering 1080 high definition video at 1.2 meg. And that costs you under $5,000. So if you want a high definition video conference in your boardroom, we've got a solution for you. Tarquin's your man. Okay, let's quickly move on to some other points. The director basically has different facets to it. The Mitel controller, the 3300, is the base product that we operate across the range of requirements. The other thing is that applications that you run that interface into other environments such as Microsoft or could be web portals and so forth sit on servers. Now we don't lock you into a specification. We're open architecture. You will never have a problem interfacing Mitel with any other environment because we're certainly committed to open architecture. Some of the biggest players, in fact the biggest player in the industry, starts with a C, likes to get you locked into a proprietary arrangement, whether it be services or software or applications or licensing or service, so that you don't have the freedom of choice. We give you that freedom. A new product, and I talked about virtualisation before, we can now do away with the Mitel tin. You don't have a box anymore. We provide VMware software solutions to take the telephone system off the Mitel box and put it on the back of a HP server or a Sunray server, an IBM platform, your choice. If you've got a preferred platform of technology, we can move our telephone system virtually onto that platform. Because it's now a virtual phone system, it gives you a DR solution. in that if you have another office or you have a call centre that you've got an arrangement with a mouse, we can move your telephone system from one building to another. So you start, pick up your telephone, walk to the next building, plug it in, and they're on there. And that building could be in New York. So DR is very important. I think we've all had a little taste, either directly or indirectly, of the floods and cyclones. DR, if a lot of companies had DR, they would have probably been able to trade through the floods from another location, rather than see their telephone system go under water and that's it, it's all over. So DR is important. You don't have to be big to be able to afford it. And virtualisation is one of Mitel's key innovators. We are the first in the world to provide a fully virtualised telephone system sitting on another piece of hardware. So that's something to keep in mind. You're looking at options. An MICE is a multi-incident, very high traffic telephone system. And basically it's a virtualised arrangement. It can have multiple companies. So if you're operating a serviced office or a high-rise building and you want to put all your tenants on the one phone system, or you have various divisions within the company, we can have 200 companies all operating off one telephone system, but totally exclusive to their own arrangements. They have their own music on hold, their own greeting, their own telephone recording, their own management, their own integration. There's nothing they lose, but you have the economies of having one telephone system, not 200. So that's the direction we're headed. And it's in the cloud. I mean, the cloud is probably the most used word in the communications industry in the world today. Everywhere you pick up a newspaper or a technical manual, there's the cloud. The cloud is simply a location where you can host your IT infrastructure. That could be your phone system, it could be your Microsoft servers, it could be a digital voice recording system, it could be a security system. It doesn't really matter. It's just IT in another location, and the cloud could be a data centre. If there's a data centre available, buy some rack space, couple of slots, you put in your technology, it's off-site, so you don't have to manage it. There's no power, there's no environment to worry about. The specialists that operate the data centre do that for you. So that's a very cost-effective way of operating. We've got some big customers in the cloud. Yes?
You don't even need to really buy your own hardware to put in their data
Correct.
centre, right?
That's
you
right.
can also rent space off their servers and
Absolutely.
their equipment.
So much per computer, per phone, per month. That's the model for an operating environment. Now we have Centrebet, the big betting company in the cloud. It's one of our customers. It's sitting in our Fujitsu data centre in North Shore in Sydney, and we've run 3 Melbourne Cups out of that cloud location. Not one error message. Did 186,000 calls in 2 hours on the morning of the last Melbourne Cup last year. Again, no failures. I mean, it's there, it works, it's doable, it's affordable. And why do they want to be in the cloud? Because their business is betting, it's not technology. They want to get out of the technology business. They want the deliverables, they want the outcomes, but they don't want to be there. So they've said to us, you do it for us, and we have. 66 operators in Alice Springs, connected by a Telstra managed IP network. So all the functionality is there. By law, we have to digitally record every phone call, or you can't bet. So we have digital voice recorders, Alice Springs and Sydney. They back each other up. They're redundant. They're resilient. If the lines go down, we automatically swing to another set of lines, so they can still bet. Because every phone call is money. It's pretty important to make sure that those deliverables, in fact, end up in the hands of the customer. Otherwise, you're in strife. We've also got Sportingbet, and now that's another site that we have that's using another Mitel. Okay, just some boxes to give you an idea of the hardware. It doesn't matter. It's in the back room or it's in the cloud. You don't need to know about that. But essentially, they're the various type and size boxes, Mitel boxes that are available, configurable up to 60,000 extensions, so we can get big if we have to. We've got some huge customers around the world, universities with 20,000 extensions and so on. So that's very quickly the range of equipment. There's the handset models. A good range of handset models are important because not everyone has the same requirement. We start with a very low, minimally functionalised handset right through to a colour phone that's pretty clever, which you'll see on the stand outside. And those handsets can operate in the office, they can operate at home. I'll come to another slide which tells you a little bit about remote working. Okay, let's talk about desktop. The Microsoft suite of products are pretty awesome. I mean, they're the world's most popular desktop solution. OCS is the integration of your telephony and your desktop. And we can look at our computer and tell us who's on the phone around the office, or what state they're in. If they're in a meeting, do not disturb. If they're available, if they're not in the office on holidays, just by looking at the colour of the light alongside their name, we know exactly the state of that person. So we're not going to ring them if they're on the phone or if they're out of the office for a week. We can tell from them their diary presence. We can go into their diary and have a look at when it would be best to make a call or to book a call using the collaboration. Click to call. If you've got an Outlook contact, you just put a right click on the person's name and up pops a number and click the send button, and you're now connected. So you can use your telephone system integration with your Outlook contacts to make a phone call. Incoming calls, if the number is in the Outlook contact list, up pops a window saying wife calling, do not disturb straight away. Those sort of things are possible because we now have this very clever and comprehensive integration with Microsoft. Presence, as I said, chat, you can have chat sessions using the phone system and the computer interface while you're online. You can start sending chat messages, which are really important. And calendar integration, we can move appointments and so forth. Voicemail enables you to set up voicemail integration so that you know who's left the message. We can give you a profile to flip the caller's name so you know who left the voicemail. So you might say, I won't listen to that yet, I'll do it a little later. So you don't have to go on any voicemail to listen to it to find out it wasn't important. You can just look at the name of the caller or the organisation. Desktop faxing, we can now fax from the desktop through the phone system using your computer. Inbound faxes and outbound faxes sent to a fax phone number. So that's another dimension to the telephony suite of products. And unified communications enables us to have video conferencing through a webcam, camera in your laptop, or as I said, the camera in your iPad 2 that's coming. Blazecast or bridging, we can bridge people together, so we can have multi-video conferences or multi-audio conferences all through your telephone system. You don't have to book it through an external agency, you can do it now in-house. If you want 60 of your sales reps to have a sales meeting every Monday morning at 9 o'clock, have them all video in just by using a webcam and the bandwidth they've got through the DSL service, nothing fancy, nothing out of the ordinary, and you've now got a full video audio conference set up. Blazecast enables us to send multiple SMSs to a group of individuals with a message, so that if there is a disaster, or maybe the bus trip from the snow is coming back an hour late, you can shoot an SMS message to all the grade 12 parents. So those sort of things now are possible. It's a very powerful tool. You can have multiple groups. Any group can be any size. You can send out a message, and importantly, they can now respond. They can send an SMS back to say, I've already picked my daughter up at Southport on the way through, so don't have to worry about me being there at 10 o'clock. Or I'd like to buy that particular item. Can I use PayPal? They're the sort of things you can now do with interactive SMSs. Very clever, doable today. Live desktop portal enables you to reprogram things on the go. We've got not much time left, so I'll keep going. I think the point is that we can do a lot of integration beyond just having a phone system. If you've got a little database, it might be, your MyOb, or it could be a Microsoft database, small N one, or it could be a large Genesis one. Every time a phone call comes in, we look at the calling number, we go to your database, we find the record, and we pop the screen. So before you answer the call, we know exactly who's ringing in. And we're doing some fairly innovative work with one of the big banks at the moment. We not only bring up the record, we go back to history and we bring intelligence forward to say that this caller is rang 8 times. And of the 8 times, all they want is a balance for their bank book. So we can interrogate their voice pattern with biometrics. We know who the caller is. We can go then to the database, pull up the bank balance, and we can greet them with the bank balance. Mr. Smith, your bank balance is $16 million today. Anything else we can help you with? So you can provide an exceptional rate of service by using these innovative techniques. And yeah, sure.
Is there any way you can go the other way? So when the phone rings and a telephone number that is not recognised by your database comes up and it's just a phone number, you answer the phone. We have a fish and chip shop, so what I'm thinking is we answer the phone to a new customer and we take their telephone order. Is there a way, without having to take down the details of that phone, by the fact that we're taking an order and we get their name, to automatically enter that into our database via our point of sale, so we don't have to create new entry? Like,
there are multiple ways of doing that. You can buy a White Pages online CD, and that expands your database to the whole of White Pages. You can buy the Townsville White Pages on CD. So if they're in the phone book, you've got their number and their address.
And you just got to put your name in.
Yep.
So can you do that?
Oh, the name's there as well. Comes to the White Pages. There's a product you might have heard of called Dragon by Nuance. Now, I downloaded it yesterday, I was just blown away. Dragon enables you to record a conversation. So we could answer your caller, get their details, ask them for their order, and their order, I just push that red button that records it. That can then be sent as an email to yourself. So there's all your emails of all your orders. So when you're ready and you're not busy, you can go through all those incoming orders and take the information. So, and they go into a bit of that.
Do you have to provide them with notification that this call has been recorded, like we used to do that, and how does...
No, they do the recording themselves. We're not recording the conversation, we're recording just their inbound order. And we'll prompt them to say, would you leave your order with us today, and we'll process it as soon as we can. Do you have any specific time you'd like to collect? All that, that engages the caller without you having to be involved, fully automated. I might just, in the essence of time, show you another application. Now this is any old, doesn't have to be an iPad, it could be a laptop, could be a tablet of any type, could be a desktop. There's a Mitel application which turns that device into my extension. So I've just now called up my extension on my desk in Cooperoo. Now my extension is 234, so let's dial it. I'm not in my office, I'm here in Townsville. All I've got is a mobile, so let's just see what happens when I ring 234. It's ringing my desk, I'm not there, it rings for a certain period of time, and guess what, now my mobile rings. So, it gives me the flexibility of answering the call, and I could be in Hong Kong. I can take the call from my desk, the secretary's not involved, no one else is involved, I've taken the caller, I can say, look, you better speak to my accountant, hang on. And then with 3 digits, I can transfer the call back to my accountant in the office. So just think about the implications of that flexibility when you're on the road. I mean, someone doesn't have to look and see where you are. If you're at your desk, that is transferred through. Now that can go to 8 devices. That could go to my mobile phone, my home number, my NUSA unit. It could go to the wireless phone on the boat. Up to 8 different devices that call will go to. Any one of those 8 can answer, and any one of those 8 can transfer back into the office or to any of the other 8. So I can answer the call on my mobile phone and say, look, the wife and kids are in the NUSA unit, hang on, I'll put you through. 3 digits, and I'll transfer the call through to the NUSA unit. I mean, that's mobility. That's the power of the Mitel mobility solution. Sure.
What's the quality of VoIP calls up here? Because the bandwidth is pretty bad where I live. So therefore, does that not impact? Does it not impact on the quality, echoes and all those kinds of things?
Well, it absolutely does depend on your broadband service. I'm just ringing my PA in Brisbane, and she's not working today, which is fairly extraordinary for her, but she won't be there. But this is a VoIP call. It's a simple.
Thank you for calling. You have reached the mailbox and Slow Park Road TD Group Communications. I'm unable to take your call at present, and I'm on another call or in a meeting. Please leave your name, your number, and a short message after the tone, and I'll call you back. Thank you.
How good was that? That's a VoIP call. And that can be anywhere around the world. I mean, I dropped off an aeroplane in Barcelona a couple of weeks ago when I was on holidays. I took that with me. I had broadband in the hotel. I then had an extension of my phone system in Brisbane. So all my free calls were in the office. All my calls were free around the office. If I dial 0, I got Brisbane dial tone. I could speak to anyone in Brisbane as long as I liked for the cost of one local call. It's all doable today. If you want mobility and you don't want to pay high cost, you want to get down to some basics, which include free calling, have a talk to Tackman.
But is it high cost in like commercial grade server equipment
Not at all.
and stuff like that?
You need a TPG or a Telstra or whatever broadband service, and you're running it. That's it. Okay, telephone call accounting. You can have your own billing system, so you can record all the cost of all the calls per department, per extension, and get a report, exception report. Any call over $5, any call over 5 minutes. Talking about 5 minutes. And IVR, which enables us to greet your caller using computers. We talk to your callers. This is what we do in a company that we own called SmartSpeak. It has a very intelligent IVR. It's in the cloud. We can greet a caller to say what's the nature of the call. If they're ringing about the Noise Abatement Act, there's a dog barking next door, it's driving me nuts, what can I do about it? If the answer's on the website, we go to the website in real time, we scrape the answer virtually, convert that HTML text into speech, and we talk that back to the caller. So we can say, your options are to ring this 1800 number, or wait till Monday, or if it's urgent, this is another number you can ring. And this engages then your caller to solve all of those miscellaneous sort of questions that don't earn revenue, but they are important because it's all about customer service, 24/7, and wait for it, in 36 languages. We speak in Chinese, in whatever language, French, Dutch, German, whatever. So we can work with a multi-racial audience, multicultural racial audience, to engage them on passports and so forth. So very lot of stuff. And it's here in Townsville, you know, it's here for you people to engage and bring a whole new dimension to your customers and your competitors. You start using this stuff, and it makes a difference. It's going to blow your competitors away. They won't be able to keep up. Okay, just very quickly, this is the smartphone that we have out, the colour phone. We can put video on the screen. You can change and model. You can do your own photographs. You want a special program for the week to tell your staff what's going on. The CEO can make staff announcements if you're over multiple sites. I mean, we're really good at multiple sites. The average Mitel phone system sold around the world has 3.7 sites. So if you have multiple branches, we bring them all together virtually as if you're in the one building. So I'll just quickly click on this. It might take me 30 seconds to set up. I think it's worthwhile having a look at. I want to really thank the guys here on Q for helping us with the broadband. I mean, this site's tragic when it comes to broadband coverage, as you know. They've made a lot of things possible in the last few days, which I think we need to give them a big round for giving us the dimension that we need, and that's wireless connectivity. Really important stuff.
Program rich, live, personalized content to your Mitel phone using Mitel's Live Content Suite. Mitel Live Content Suite delivers the dynamic and personalized information your users want with its 4 components: Live Desktop Portal, Live Logger, Live Widgets, and Screensaver. Web-based portal that gives users access to the various Live Content Suite components. It provides users with an easy way to program their touchscreen keys with the various functions and applications provided by Mitel Live Content Suite. Showing users a replica view of their phone on the computer screen, it's very easy to select and program a touchscreen key When youth program keys to a new location, changes are instantly seen on both the screen and on the physical phone. Using the Live Blogger, Live Widgets, or the screensaver components of Live Content Suite, users can follow the latest corporate messages, keep up to date with industry news and trends, check the weather before heading off on a business trip, or even draw inspiration from a favorite photo album. Live Content Suite transforms your Mitel IP phones into rich media information appliances that will enhance productivity and satisfaction. Important to them, whether it's the sales organization, senior management, technical support, human resources, or even the marketing department, will benefit from the live, personalized content delivered by Mitel Live Content Suite.
Okay, so what we've done basically is bring a computer and put it inside the telephone. So you now have the ability to do a lot more media activity within your telephone itself. Pretty powerful tool, particularly for organizations that are spread around, they want to convey the same. Okay, I think we're really getting down to about 2 minutes for the sound of it. Okay, unified communications, I'll just race through this. This enables us to have ACD agents, dynamic extensions, and this is where you pick up your Mitel telephone, you take it home, and you plug it into your ordinary old broadband. It doesn't matter what it is. It then finds its way back to the network in a secure fashion, connects to your phone system, so you have now got an office phone at home in your own study. And that could be in Cairns, it could be in New York. I mean, we've sent Centrebird agents telephones in London, they've plugged them in and they've logged into the queue and have started taking bets. All within minutes. Now this is doable. We can put a telephone anywhere you want to from the office in another location. I'll go through these very quickly. Speech attendance, we can engage your caller with a virtual operator, ask them who they'd like to talk to, not with the person but with a virtual person, and then extend that call. Unified messaging, I've spoken about the way we can blaze cast out messages. Web conferencing, we've talked about that. Service manager, we can do all of the moves and changes yourself. Even if your telephone system's in the cloud, you're going to the internet, secure portal, log on, you can make all the changes you like in real time to control your business, so you're not losing control at all. The integration of mobile phones, as I said, as an extension of the phone system, doable today. We've spoken about that a bit earlier, in fact demonstrated it. So your mobile phone also becomes an extension of your phone system anywhere in the world. And that's the collaboration. We're bringing video conferencing to the desktop, so you can have a video collaboration call anywhere again where you happen to be. That's a quick screen on the mobility solutions. They're the mobile phones I talked about. We're not only BlackBerry, across the range. These handsets now are enabled to be integrated into the Mitel solution. Wherever you are connected, even if it's on your mobile phone. And this is a hosted telephone system in the cloud. When you look at some of the components of that, first of all, this portion here is in the cloud. We've got a telephone system, fully virtualized, no Mitel tin, sitting on the back of a HP server, an IBM Blade or a Sunray server, a router, broadband, and then a router, broadband again. And this is your site. You've got a PoE switch, which is just a switch that delivers power to the phone to drive it. Any number of handsets. In the back of the handset, you plug your computer. So you've got voice and data in your office, wherever you need to be. This could be home as well. Connected as a telephone system, and all of your infrastructure is in the cloud. You can own that, or you can rent it per month, per partner, per application. So that's where we're headed. Hosted environments are very safe, they're secure, they're expandable. We can burst. If you want 40 more extensions in Gladstone next Thursday, that's done. All you need is a PoE switch, which could be a HP or an Extreme, or it could be whatever you think's best practice. Some broadband, bunch of phones, and you're in business in Gladstone in a matter of hours. It's that simple. And that's where the DR comes in as well. We can provide those solutions on the run. Per month, voicemail, unified comms, video collaboration, mobile extensions, so mobile is your extension of the phone system, give you administration through a web portal, and a 24/7 help desk. So it doesn't get any better than that. Your communications now is totally flexible, anywhere, anytime. So there you go. I think we've probably nailed it. And Tarquin, would you like to stand up again? We'll make a bit of a spectacle of you. He's your man. If there's anything that Tarquin can do to help, his business cards are here. Don't hesitate. There's the phone number, 1800 number, which goes to his mobile. So anything we can do, don't hesitate. Any further questions before I close? Thanks very much for your attendance, and I hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.